Success and failure are often viewed as two completely different destinations, as if one must avoid failure at all costs to arrive at success. Yet, in truth, they are simply two sides of the same path, inseparable companions that shape the journey of life. Imagine walking on a winding road where one side reveals sunshine and the other holds shadows. You cannot walk this path without encountering both. Just as day cannot exist without night, success has no meaning without the presence of failure. It is through experiencing both that we grow, understand, and evolve. When you achieve something significant, it is not merely the success that defines you. It is the journey through obstacles, mistakes, and setbacks that gives that success depth and meaning. If everything came easily, achievements would lose their value, and personal growth would be stagnant. Success shines brightly only because it is surrounded by the lessons learned from failure. Many people fear failure as if it marks the end of their path, but failure is often the beginning of a deeper understanding. It reveals areas that require attention, patience, and persistence. It tests character, resilience, and commitment. When someone fails, it does not mean they are incapable. It means they are in the process of learning something essential. On the same path, success offers moments of reward, encouragement, and clarity, but failure offers the refinement of one's inner self. Both play crucial roles in shaping who we become. To reject failure is to reject half of the learning process, just as rejecting night would mean never seeing the stars. When walking through life, embracing both success and failure creates balance. It keeps one grounded during moments of triumph and gives hope during times of struggle. People who understand this truth do not become overly attached to their victories or discouraged by their defeats. They walk steadily, knowing that both are natural elements of progress. This balanced view transforms the way we approach goals. Instead of fearing mistakes, we begin to see them as stepping stones. Instead of becoming arrogant after success, we recognize the effort and challenges that made it possible. The path of success and failure is not linear. It curves, bends, and sometimes loops back on itself. There are moments when what seems like failure turns out to be a necessary redirection towards something greater. Likewise, moments of success can lead to complacency if not accompanied by continued growth. The key is to keep walking, to understand that the presence of both elements is what makes the journey rich and meaningful. Success and failure are not enemies, they are allies, each playing its part in shaping the story of a person's life. Failure is often misunderstood as something to be avoided, hidden, or feared, but in truth it is a silent teacher, patiently shaping the foundation upon which future success is built. When things don't go as planned, the natural tendency is to feel disappointed or question one's abilities. Yet beneath every failed attempt lies valuable information, waiting to be uncovered by those who are willing to reflect and learn. Failure exposes blind spots that success often conceals. It highlights weaknesses, overlooked details, and areas that need growth. Unlike success, which brings celebration, failure brings stillness, a space where reflection happens, where lessons take root, and where resilience is born. This is why many great achievements in history are preceded by countless failures. It is not because those individuals were destined to fail, but because each failure refined their approach, strengthened their character, and deepened their understanding. When you view failure as a teacher rather than a setback, your relationship with challenges begins to shift. Instead of fearing mistakes, you begin to embrace them as opportunities to grow. A failure is not a permanent label, it is feedback, a signal guiding you toward a better direction. In moments of failure, emotions may cloud judgment, but once the initial disappointment fades, the mind becomes open to insight. It is during these quiet moments that the most powerful realizations occur. These realizations then become the building blocks for future decisions, actions, and strategies. The foundation of lasting success is rarely built in moments of victory. It is laid in moments of trial, reflection, and perseverance. Failure also develops qualities that success alone cannot. It cultivates patience, humility, and determination. It forces you to question your assumptions and pushes you to discover strengths you didn't know you possessed. Many people mistakenly believe that those who succeed the most are the ones who fail the least, when in fact it is often the opposite. Those who succeed greatly are usually the ones who have failed the most, because they were willing to keep learning, adjusting, and moving forward. Each failure added another layer of strength and wisdom to their foundation. The silent nature of failure's teaching is what makes it so powerful. It doesn't announce its lessons with applause. It whispers them to those who are willing to listen. It doesn't reward those who run away from it. It rewards those who stay, reflect, and grow. When you allow failure to teach you, it transforms from something painful into something empowering. It becomes a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. Every misstep, every rejection, every setback carries within it the seeds of future success. Those who can listen to failure's quiet guidance often build the strongest, most enduring paths forward. True success is not defined by the absence of failure, but by the growth that takes place along the way. Many people chase achievements with the belief that success means everything must go smoothly, without mistakes or setbacks. This mindset creates pressure, fear, and a fragile sense of accomplishment that can easily crumble when faced with challenges. Real success, however, is measured by the depth of transformation that happens within a person as they move through obstacles. It is not about how many victories one collects, but about who they become in the process. Every challenge faced, every failure endured, and every lesson learned contributes to the strength and wisdom that make success meaningful. Without growth, success remains shallow, temporary, and easily lost. Growth gives success its lasting power. It teaches patience during moments of waiting, resilience during times of difficulty, and humility when things finally fall into place. Someone who grows through their experiences learns to handle both triumph and adversity with balance. When success is achieved without growth, it often leads to arrogance, complacency, or fear of losing what was gained. But when success emerges through personal development, it brings stability, confidence, and a deeper understanding of life. Growth teaches us to value the journey more than the destination. It shifts the focus from merely collecting results to building character, skills, and awareness. This shift is what separates temporary victories from enduring success. The path to meaningful success is rarely straightforward. There are times when progress is invisible, when efforts seem wasted, and when nothing appears to be working. These are the moments that test one's commitment and mindset. Instead of seeing them as signs of failure, those who value growth see them as integral parts of the journey. They understand that skills take time to develop, that character is shaped through struggle, and that success built on a weak foundation eventually collapses. Growth provides the strength needed to withstand setbacks and the clarity to navigate through uncertainty. When a person focuses on growth, their definition of success evolves. It becomes less about external validation and more about internal fulfillment. They start celebrating small improvements, learning from mistakes, and appreciating progress rather than perfection. This approach makes the journey lighter, more sustainable, and far more rewarding. Success that emerges from personal growth cannot be easily taken away because it is built from the inside out. It is not dependent on circumstances or luck. It is the natural result of continuous learning and resilience. By embracing growth as the true measure of success, individuals transform their setbacks into stepping stones and their victories into meaningful milestones. This perspective allows them to keep moving forward with strength and clarity, regardless of what challenges arise. Inner strength is not something that appears in moments of comfort. It is built quietly and steadily through embracing challenges rather than resisting them. Life often places obstacles in our path, not to break us, but to bring out the potential hidden within. When faced with difficulties, many instinctively retreat or avoid discomfort, believing that strength comes from staying safe. In reality, true strength is forged in moments when we confront fear, uncertainty, and discomfort head-on. Each challenge is like resistance to a muscle. Without resistance, there can be no growth. Similarly, without difficulties, the inner core of resilience remains undeveloped. By choosing to face challenges rather than run from them, We strengthen our ability to remain steady in the face of adversity. Every challenge carries with it an opportunity to grow mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. When people resist challenges, they trap themselves in cycles of avoidance, and their inner power remains dormant. But those who accept and work through obstacles cultivate patience, adaptability, and confidence. Instead of being controlled by external circumstances, they learn to navigate through them with clarity. Each hardship becomes a teacher, showing where weaknesses lie and where strength must be developed. The more a person leans into challenges, the more their perspective shifts. Problems no longer appear as threats, but as chances to rise above limitations. Embracing challenges also reveals the difference between surface strength and true inner strength. Surface strength depends on conditions being favorable, while inner strength remains steady even when everything seems uncertain. When life tests you with difficulties, it is an invitation to discover your capacity to endure, to stay centered, and to adapt without losing yourself. These experiences build a deep sense of trust in your own abilities. You begin to realize that strength is not about avoiding pain, but about walking through it with awareness and courage. Every time a person overcomes a challenge, their inner landscape shifts. Confidence grows not from easy victories, but from surviving the moments that once seemed impossible. Resilience develops through repeated experiences of falling, learning, and rising again. When you embrace challenges, setbacks become less intimidating because you have evidence of your ability to overcome. Life's storms no longer shake you the same way because you've built an anchor within. This inner strength cannot be borrowed or faked. It is earned through lived experience. When difficulties arise, embracing them doesn't mean enjoying the pain, but acknowledging their role in shaping who you become. It means accepting that growth often requires discomfort and trusting that each challenge is molding you into someone more capable and grounded. Over time, this mindset transforms fear into power and uncertainty into opportunity. Inner strength becomes an unshakable foundation that supports you in every aspect of life, allowing you to face future challenges not with dread, but with quiet confidence. Detachment from outcomes does not mean a lack of ambition or care. It means focusing on the process with clarity and resilience rather than being controlled by expectations. Many people become so fixated on the result that their entire sense of motivation and self-worth depends on whether they succeed or fail. This attachment creates pressure, fear of mistakes, and emotional instability when things don't go exactly as planned. Detachment allows you to give your best effort without being consumed by the desire for a specific outcome. It shifts your attention from worrying about what might happen to fully immersing yourself in what you are doing now. When your mind is not chained to the future, your actions become more intentional, focused, and effective. This mindset is often misunderstood. Some think detachment means indifference, but it is quite the opposite. It means caring deeply about your actions while accepting that the result may not always be within your control. In life, there are countless variables that influence outcomes, many of which you cannot predict or manage. When you attach your peace of mind to something you cannot fully control, you set yourself up for unnecessary suffering. Detachment frees you from that emotional trap. It allows you to act with full commitment while maintaining inner stability, regardless of how things unfold. This balance between effort and acceptance is a powerful way to stay resilient. When a person becomes too attached to the outcome, they often lose sight of the journey. They may rush the process, avoid risks, or become discouraged at the first sign of failure. Detachment prevents this by grounding the focus in the present moment. It teaches you to appreciate the work itself, to value learning, and to trust that the right outcome will emerge from consistent effort. By letting go of obsessive control, creativity flows more naturally, decision-making becomes clearer, and anxiety decreases. You stop overthinking every step and start moving with steady confidence. Detachment also strengthens emotional resilience. When success comes, you can celebrate without becoming dependent on the result for your sense of worth. When failure occurs, you can reflect without falling into despair. This emotional balance is what allows people to keep moving forward through ups and downs without losing themselves. It is the ability to say, "I gave my best, and I accept whatever comes," and not from a place of weakness, but from inner strength and trust. In a world that constantly emphasizes results, practicing detachment might feel counterintuitive, but it is one of the most liberating mindsets you can develop. It keeps your mind clear, your heart steady, and your actions aligned. Detachment does not diminish ambition, it refines it. It shifts the source of your motivation from external validation to internal growth. When you detach from outcomes, you become unshakable, able to give your all without fear, and able to face both success and failure with the same calm strength. Every experience in life, whether it appears as success or failure, carries within it a lesson for those who are willing to listen. Life constantly communicates through events, emotions, and outcomes. But often people overlook the wisdom hidden in these moments because they are too focused on labeling experiences as good or bad. Success brings feelings of joy and accomplishment, while failure brings discomfort and reflection. Both, however, serve a deeper purpose beyond their surface emotions. When viewed with awareness, every experience becomes a teacher guiding you toward greater understanding and growth. What matters is not whether the experience feels pleasant or painful in the moment, but how you interpret and respond to it. Success, for example, teaches lessons about discipline, vision, and consistency. It shows what strategies work, how resilience pays off, and how opportunities can be created through effort. But it also carries subtler lessons, such as the importance of humility, gratitude, and staying grounded despite achievements. Without awareness, people can easily become blinded by success, forgetting the path that led them there. Awareness transforms success from a temporary reward into a lasting source of wisdom. It encourages reflection, helping individuals understand why things worked so they can apply that knowledge to future endeavors. Failure, on the other hand, teaches lessons that success often cannot. It reveals hidden weaknesses, overlooked details, and untested areas of character. It encourages patience, adaptability, and courage. While success speaks loudly, failure whispers its lessons quietly, requiring stillness and reflection to be understood. Those who resist failure miss its teachings, but those who lean into it discover valuable insights that shape their future actions. Failure teaches resilience, persistence, and humility, qualities that become the backbone of lasting achievement. Both success and failure are necessary for a balanced understanding of life. Each experience, regardless of how it feels at the time, holds a message meant to guide you forward. The key is developing the habit of listening. Listening means reflecting on what happened, examining your thoughts and actions, and recognizing the deeper patterns at play. It means not dismissing uncomfortable experiences too quickly or glorifying achievements without understanding their foundation. When you listen to what each experience is trying to teach, you stop reacting impulsively and start responding with wisdom. This mindset turns life itself into a continuous learning journey. Instead of being tossed around by successes and failures, you begin to use both as tools for personal evolution. Every situation, whether it brings joy or pain, becomes part of a larger process of shaping your character, sharpening your mind, and deepening your understanding. By paying attention to the lessons within each experience, you build a strong inner foundation that allows you to navigate life with clarity and strength. No matter what comes your way,